Switch off your phones as you are under surveillance at all times by the Ministry of Truth. Big Brother would like to remind you that strobe lighting is used during this performance. However, we please ask that you do not use flash photography. Sit back, hold tight, and beware of the rats.
In that moment, it became real. The thing that he was about to do was to open a diary. If detected, it would be punished by death. There was no way of knowing whether you were being watched at any given moment. How often or in what system the thought police watched any particular individual was guesswork. It was even conceivable that they watched everybody, all the time. Winston faltered for a second. He did not know with any certainty that this was 1984. It was never possible nowadays to pin down any date within a year or two. Whether he went on with the diary or not made no difference. The thought police would get him just the same. He had committed, would still have committed, even if he had never set pen to paper, the essential crime that contained all others in itself. Thought crime. Thought crime could not be concealed forever. Sooner or later, they were bound to get you. Every record of everything you had ever done was wiped out. Your previous existence was denied and then forgotten. You were deleted, annihilated. Unpersoned was the usual word. For whom it suddenly occurred to him to wonder, was he writing this diary? For the future? For the unborn? His mind hovered for a moment round the doubtful date on the page, and then fetched up with a bump against the newspeak word, doublethink.
Doublethink. How could you communicate with the future? It was, in its nature, impossible. Either the future would resemble the present, in which case wouldn't listen to him, or it would be different and his words would be meaningless. He was writing this diary for the future, for the unborn, for us. This is the moment. A thought develops into action, and everything that follows becomes inevitable. Despite the consequences of his doing so, as his pen touches the paper, this man is attempting to change the world. This text occupies a unique place in our collective subconscious. Even if we've never read it, its author imagines a future, imagines us, and asks us to listen. But what is he saying?
I had this feeling while I was reading it. Suddenly, I felt so happy to be reading.
I thought I knew it, but my memory was completely wrong. I had all these ideas before I started, but how do you begin to talk about one of the most significant things that has ever been put on paper?
Exactly.
It's wonderful. I really think it's wonderful. I mean, I'm not sure I always understood
That's the
exactly.
point. It's about uncertainty, the impossibility of truly knowing
In fact,
anything.
it requires us to believe two contradictory things and accept both of them as truth. It's always about more than one thing.
Austerity,
Wow.
unpopular
Oppression,
politics,
torture,
perpetual war,
humanity,
uncertainty,
revolution.
Exactly.
looking at the past and dreaming of a better future.
What the book does is destroy the whole idea of truth. How do you know anything in this world is real?
Once you finish this book, you become a different person. You don't feel the same. You don't think the same. It changes everything. And it'll always be true. It's a vision of the future no matter when it's being read.
It's a warning. It's a call to arms. He wants us to rebel, to take to the streets, to turn off the screens, to look at the world the way things are and say, this isn't good enough. The lies, the corruption, the infringements on our liberty. He wants us to do whatever it takes.
Yes!
Whatever it takes.
Which is what I'm saying, or...
Well, to quote at one point it says, we should never have trusted them. Never have trusted them.
It's all very... just... we're inside his head, you know. He's imagining us, and when you really think about it, it's all subjective. You are Winston.
I'm sorry?
So sorry. Hang on.
Perhaps we might all.
So sorry. So sorry.
Is it?
Switched off.
You're seeing yourself in it because it's a mirror. It's opaque. Every age sees itself reflected.
Though he was shaped by what he lived through, these key figures, Chaucer, Swift, Shakespeare, they're all products of a particular time. All people the party wanted to suppress.
If we were born in a different time, we'd be different people, do different things, think different thoughts.
But nothing's changed.
Oppression.
Austerity,
torture,
unpopular
uprising,
politics,
revolution,
perpetual war,
corruption,
uncertainty.
deceit, infringements on liberty.
How can you say a book has changed the world when the world is still exactly the same?
Exactly. It tells you what's wrong, but doesn't offer an alternative.
Full of fever dreams and paranoid
Written by
hallucinations.
someone who knew he would soon be dead.
It was earlier, and this is one of the
Will
cool
you
jump
stop that?
You jump down again, and here in this.
Can I have some chocolate? There isn't any chocolate. Just sit and read a book or something.
A book.
Look, you know this already. In this world, you don't exist.
What about you? Where are you?
I'm asking you where you are, right now. Where do you think you are?
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
No, I just thought...
I'm just asking where you are. On all this.
Oh.
Also, it does take quite a while before it
Really gets going, yes, I agree. There's a lot of information. It really picks up with the arrival
At this moment, he was dragged out of his reverie with a violent jerk. A girl had stopped walking between the cubicles and was looking at him. It was a girl with blonde hair whom he often passed in the corridors. He did not know her name, but he knew that she worked in the fiction department. A narrow scarlet belt, emblem of the Anti-Sex League, was wound several times round her waist. It was always the women, and above all the young ones, who were the most bigoted adherents of the party, the swallowers of slogans and the amateur spies. But this particular girl gave him the impression of being more dangerous than most. The idea crossed his mind that she might be an agent of the thought police. And now she was looking at him. A horrible pang of terror went through him. Why was she watching him? Real coffee. Is it late or is it early? The clock must have stopped.
What did you say?
So sorry. Hang on. So sorry.
Is it?
Switched off.
You're seeing yourself in it because it's a mirror. It's opaque. Every age sees itself reflected.
What?
Power!
Gone.
Everyone remain still. Stay in your seats. I'm so sorry. This has happened before. Let me just see if I can.
Winston! Winston Smith! Where do you think you are?
Who is this?
Now, Winston, you know that already. You have always known it.
This is all wrong. This is all wrong. This is all wrong.
We shall meet, Winston, in the place where there is no darkness.
Thought criminal! Remain still! You're a traitor! You're a thought criminal! Are you? You know you are! I know you are! Big Brother knows!
Can you please stay in the flat? I don't know how many times I have to tell you. I'm so sorry.
Do you know me?
You are Winston. You work with my husband? We live next door.
It's just me, Comrade Parsons. Are you feeling all right?
How long have I lived here?
You've always lived here.
Can I have some chocolate?
There isn't any chocolate. You know that already. Can you please just... I was just wondering if you'd had any trouble with the power as well. If it's just me or if we're expecting some airstrikes.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, right.
The criminal!
She's just a little enthusiastic, I'm afraid. Hasn't been out to the youth league tomorrow. Gives them a chance to
Can I
enjoy...
see the execution?
Okay, I'm just...
Now! Big Brother is watching you.
You've got a good eye. The diary, well, keepsake album. It's a beautiful thing. Cream Lady used to be called. Hasn't been made in, dare I say, 50 years. You're not the first party member in here. Last lot took the glassware and the metal pieces, went to go melt it down. You understand. But you're different. I knew that straight away. I'll sell it to you.
I have no need for it.
Not my business what you need it for.
Where am I?
The one place in the world where the past still exists. My shop. Antiques. As was anyway. No one wants old things anymore. Now this is what you want. Thick glass. Made less than 100 years ago. They never found it when they came looking. There's another room in the back. Not even a telescreen in there.
No telescreen!
It's just for storage after all. Me and my wife used to live there until she...
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. But there's not many that say so these days. That building over there, it's a ruin now. Bombed years ago. Used to be a church. St. Clement's Danes. Oranges and lemons.
What's that?
Oh, oranges and lemons? That was a rhyme when I was a little child. But for the life of me, I can't remember how it goes. Out of my head. Long gone. Oranges and lemons, say the bells of St. Clement's. You owe me 3 farthings, say the bells of St. Martin's. Feels to me like this belongs to you.
The
keepsake
diary.
album.
Yes.
If you're interested in anything else, we could wrap them together. Not these bits. There's more in the back. Things I forgot to mention to the officials. If you want to glance, they'll do with the light. Follow me. It's along the corridor. It's the only door.
If he's been electrocuted.
He hasn't.
If he's been electrocuted.
We shouldn't touch him.
Lift him. He's coming too. Are you feeling all right?
Don't worry, the power's gone out. I think you might have fainted.
I know where you are. Just take your time. Get your breath back.
How many fingers? How many fingers?
When you're ready, we're going to have to evacuate.
Did you see the cafe outside before you came in?
Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay.
Attention comrades! The Ministry of Peace has learned that the Brotherhood is plotting a major attack. Big Brother has raised us to high alert. Remain vigilant. Brotherhood members or Emmanuel Goldstein himself could be undercover in your building. Big Brother is watching you.
And resuming. Stand up straight, arms bending and stretching. Take your time by me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, Smith! 6079 Smith W. Yes, you. With your head on the table. Stand up when I'm speaking to you. Look at yourself. Where do you think you are? Stand up straight. Now touch your toes. You're not trying. Lower, please. Bend. Show breast out, please. all be fighting on Eurasian fronts, but at least we can all keep fit.
Victory, Jin!
Now, you don't really appreciate Newspeak, Winston, do you? Not really. You don't have to be an expert to know that Newspeak is the only language in the world whose vocabulary gets smaller every year. It's a beautiful thing, the destruction of words. Of course, the great wastage is in the verbs and adjectives, but there are hundreds of nouns that can be got rid of as well. It isn't only the synonyms, there are also the antonyms. After all, what justification is there for a word which is simply the opposite of some other word? Take the word good, for instance. If you have a word like good, what need is there for a word like bad? Ungood will do just as well. Even better, because it's the exact opposite which the other is not. Don't you see the beauty of that, Winston? It was Big Brother's idea originally, of course. In the end, we shall make thought crime literally impossible because there will be no words in which to express it. Even now, of course, there are no words that can be got rid of as well, but the project will be complete when the language is perfect. Has it ever occurred to you, Winston, that by the year 2050 at the very latest, not a single human being will be alive that could understand such a conversation as we're having right now?
Well, except...
By 2050, earlier probably, all real knowledge of alt speak will have disappeared. The whole climate of thought will be different. In fact, there will be no thought. Orthodoxy means not thinking, not needing to think. Orthodoxy is unconsciousness. Oh, Parsons.
Oh, Syme Smith. Wait, no, Smith, Syme.
Parsons?
Right. Well, just got back from the community center. So, what's the word? Refreshing. Oh, did you hear about what that daughter of mine did last Saturday? Absolutely brilliant. Pleased as punch. Here we go. Her troop were on a hike out on Berkhamsted Way when they stumble across this man. They keep on his tail for 2 hours, right through the woods, right through the countryside. And when they get into Amersham, they hand him right over to the officials.
Why did...
My kid made sure he was some kind of enemy agent or something. Might have been parachuted in. But here's the bit that's really brilliant. What put her onto him in the first place?
Shoes?
He was wearing a funny pair of shoes.
He told me before.
So, chances are he was a foreigner. Pretty smart, right? Pretty smart for a 7-year-old.
What happened to the man?
Couldn't say, but I wouldn't be surprised if...
Good.
I mean, there is a war on. Did I ever tell you about that time my daughter set fire to that old woman's skirt? Because, well, she was leaning against a poster of Big Brother. Burned her quite badly. Little beggar. But it's amazing how much they pick up on. How much they notice. It's a first-rate training they give them in the spies nowadays. Better than in my day, even. You know what they've served with all out now? Devices for listening through keyholes. My little girl brought one home the other day and reckoned she could hear twice as much as with her ear to the hole. It's only a toy, mind you, but it still gives them the right idea. She's thought police in the making. Gets right inside your head. Absolutely brilliant.
Comrades, attention comrades. We have glorious news for you. The armies of Oceania and our East Asian allies have won a decisive victory against our enemies in Eurasia. Big Brother has decided to celebrate by raising the chocolate ration to 20 grams.
You can't complain when you're giving more chocolate.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Winston, Where do you think you are?
The chocolate.
Think, Winston.
I'm at work. In the canteen.
Good. And?
The party's saying that the chocolate ration has been raised to 20 grams. I remember. I'm sure I remember.
Yes?
Yesterday, they raised it to 20 grams. Every day, the chocolate ration increases to 20 grams. It's always 20 grams. And somehow, everyone pretends they don't see it. That they really can't.
Double think.
Is this how it feels to go mad? Am I imagining your voice? No. You can hear me.
I can hear you, Winston.
I'm writing a diary. Evidence, account that in all this insanity, there was one person who held tight to the truth. I know what the future will look like. Future free of the party, people free to talk and think. It all has to change. It will change. I'm not mad. There's truth and there are facts. Freedom is freedom to say that 2 and 2 make 4 because it does. 2 and 2 make 4. 2 and 2 make 4. I thought I was writing for the future. For the unborn. But now I think I'm writing for you.
We shall meet, Winston, in the place where there is no darkness.
Name. Name.
Winston Smith.
Confirmed. Ministry of Truth. Welcome, Comrade 6079. Winston Smith. Project active. Please rectify all references to unperson 5988. Name, Ogilvy. Rewrite full wise.
Call birth records. Search Comrade Ogilvy. Select Ogilvy Information Plus. On the right.
Assent unright.
Assent. Call newspapers. Search Ogilvy.
2 records.
Select Ogilvy. On the right.
Assent unright.
Assent. Article total on the right.
Assent total unright.
Assent. Call file. Comrade Ogilvy. On the right.
Comrade Ogilvy. 48 records. Assent unright.
Assent. Call all files. Search all records. Comrade Ogilvy 5968.
No records. Number is unallocated. Person does not exist.
Attention, comrades. The 2 minutes H will begin in 10 seconds. Another enemy of the party has been captured. A member of the Brotherhood has confessed to conspiring to kill Big Brother and attack our freedom.
I am a thought criminal. I have committed crimes against the party. I am guilty of conspiracy to destroy, to inflict violence, to bring about the deaths of countless innocent people. I have been brainwashed by the teachings of our leader, Emmanuel Goldstein. I was initiated into the Brotherhood, but now I see Goldstein's the enemy. He hates freedom. He hates our way of life. I repent. I reject his lies.
Oceania must wake up. This is the first period in all of human history where the future has less to offer us in the present, and the present less in the past. It cannot be allowed to continue. We need to stop dreaming.
No matter the consequences. Down with Big Brother! Down with Big Brother! Don't shoot me in the head. I don't care. Down with Big Brother! They always shoot you in the back of the head. I don't care. They always shoot you in the back of the head. Down with Big Brother! Down with Big Brother! Down with Big Brother!
I would just like to say thank you. Thank you.
Two. 2 minutes hate is over, comrades.
You're hurt.
Oh, it's okay. I'll be alright in a minute. It's fine.
Nothing broken?
Nothing broken. I'll be alright in a moment. It's fine. Really. Thank you.
She's thought police. She knows she is.
Victory Gin!
Now, Winston, you don't really appreciate Newspeak, do you? Not really. You don't have to be an expert to know that Newspeak is the only language in the world whose vocabulary gets smaller every year. It's a beautiful thing, the destruction of words.
Oh. My kid made sure he was some kind of enemy agent or something. Might have been parachuted in. But here's the bit that's really brilliant. What put her onto him in the first place?
Shoes?
He was wearing a funny pair of shoes. So, chances are he was a foreigner. Pretty smart, right? Pretty smart for a 7-year-old. Absolutely bursting with pride. You know what that daughter of mine did last weekend? Absolutely brilliant. Pleased as punch. Her trooper on a patrol heading northwest towards Williston when they hear some whistling. Young man and woman from the Ministry of Plenty holding hands. I know. Behavior like that, absolutely brazen. They stopped when they saw the kids, of course. But it was too late. Brazen.
Good.
I mean, there is a war on. Be careful, comrade. Be careful.
Sunday afternoon?
Yes.
At 15. Get the train. Get off at the 3rd station. Turn left. Follow the path. Wait at the biggest tree, the one covered in moss. Wait for me. We're all right here.
We're all right here?
Yeah, we're miles from anywhere. Just look at the trees. Don't go too far into the open. By the way, I'm Julia. Hello, Julia. My name is Winston Smith.
How did you know that?
I'm a good liar. I'd be dead if I wasn't.
So you've done this before?
Hundreds of times. Well, a handful at least.
With other party members?
Always.
The more men you've been with, the better. I hate purity.
I want the party to rot from the inside, to collapse on itself. I want corruption, violence, risk.
You're going to love me. Oh, I've got a surprise.
The chocolate, I remember.
It's real. Not like the crap the party rations out. This is the stuff they keep for themselves.
How did you get it?
Actually.
I feel like this has happened already. I mean, I've dreamt this. I've dreamt you.
How do you even know you're not dreaming right now?
No, being with you now, the world feels so solid, so real. I know who I am. I have memories, I have a past.
You thought I was an agent of the thought police.
Yes. I hated the sight of you. I wanted to murder you. To smash your skull and to slit your throat.
I'm careful. It's the only way to be safe.
Hardly safe to approach strangers.
I detect the people who don't belong. There's something in your eyes that betrays you. I knew you were against them. I know everything about you.
You'd be useful to the thought police. They will kill us just for being here together. We'll end up in the Ministry of Love. It's inevitable.
Nothing's inevitable.
Do you think they can be overthrown? That we could bring the party down?
We are.
I mean it.
So do I. Being here? What we just did? It was a political act. They want to abolish romance. It's a threat to them. No love except love for Big Brother. No loyalty except to the party. They keep everyone too miserable to notice what's going on, but once you see it, Brotherhood, the Goldstein, the war, it's all made up, fictional. The hardest thing during the 2-minute hate is not to laugh.
During the hate, you were screaming
What
and shouting.
you say or do doesn't matter. Only feelings matter.
The party is invincible. They can't be defeated. They always get you in the end. We are dead.
We're not dead yet. This is me. This is my hand. This is my neck. I'm real. I exist. I'm alive. Right now. We destroy the party with tiny, secret acts of disobedience. Secret pleasures. It's possible to think something, to feel something that's just yours, that has nothing to do with them. Look, I just killed Big Brother.
Kill him again.
My train leaves in 5 minutes. Get the one after.
Oh?
If you see me in the city, don't stare, don't smile, I won't acknowledge you. This never happened.
This never happened.
You might as well say goodbye.
Yes. Being together in the city, it's madness.
We could.
It's suicide.
We can't come here, not again. We are the dead. Find somewhere.
The one place in the world where the past still exists. My shop. Antiques. As was anyway. No one wants old things anymore. There's another room in the back. Not even a telescreen in there. No telescreen. It's just for storage now. Me and my wife used to live there until... Are you alright? Yes, I've been here before. But the diary... Keepsake album, yes. I'll rent it to you for very little. If you need somewhere. Plenty of space. Yes, I'd like that, thank you. Follow me and we'll get set up. No paperwork, no need to leave records. It's along the corridor. It's the only door. Thank you. Those pictures and wedding presents. Couldn't bear to part with them. Here's your key. Come and go as it suits you. Thank you. No mics? No telescreen?
The size of the bed for 2 people at once. I've got a surprise. Milk, fresh bread, jam from the inner party.
How did you get it?
They've captured India or something. This is the one I'm most proud of. They've chewed right through it. The city is swarming with rats. They're everywhere.
Stop it.
When hungry or agitated, rats can strip off the flesh from a human's face in a matter of minutes.
Stop it.
They show astonishing intelligence in knowing when someone is weak or vulnerable.
Anything but rats, please just stop it. Stop it.
What, Winston, what?
Just please stop it. Anything but rats.
Winston, you're shaking.
Anything but rats.
Winston, look at me. They won't come here. I'll plaster up every crack if necessary. We're alone here. We're safe. Oranges and lemons, say the bells of St. Clements. You owe me 3 farthings, say the bells of St. Martin's. When will you pay me? Sing the bells of St. Bailey.
That song. How do you know it?
I've always known it.
I didn't show you, did I? You weren't with me.
No. My grandfather used to sing it to me.
Your grandfather? What else did he tell you?
Nothing.
He must have told you things. About how things were before the
He was
West.
unpersoned when I was 8.
This is all wrong. This is all wrong.
We should never have trusted them. We should never have trusted them. He kept repeating that over and over. I'm not the enemy, Winston. Go outside.
What?
Trust me. Go outside. Come back inside. I can be a real woman here, not another party comrade. This is the only place where the past still exists. We can be together here in secret. This is victory. What's wrong?
I just wish. I wish there were words. There used to be words. For moments like this, for how I feel for you. They're changing everything. Everything's going.
Words don't matter.
Words do matter. Truth matters. Facts matter. Listen, I sit at a screen every day. I follow instructions. I delete photographs, records. I delete people. Like your grandfather.
You delete people?
I delete people. I should have done something. I could have done something. Aronson, Jones, and Rutherford. 3 men accused of plotting 3 major attacks across the globe on the Day of Plenty. Of course, the men were caught and they confessed. Only years later, I was writing something completely irrelevant in the edition of the Times. where I saw them. A photograph of all three of them, sitting, smiling, at a cafe under a huge pink umbrella. The photograph was dated on the day of plenty.
So they didn't commit the crime?
They couldn't have. In that one instance, in my whole life, I possessed actual evidence after the event.
What'd you do with it?
I deleted it.
Come back to bed.
And next week, we're deleting every bit of evidence that we were ever at war with Eurasia or at peace with East Asia.
Thought we'd always been at war with East Asia.
What did you say?
Who cares? It's all lies anyway. You just said so.
How can you not remember that we've...
Look, there's nothing we can do, so why waste our time together talking about it?
But you're being lied to.
I'm powerless, so why should I let it upset me?
We have to do something, even if it's only for the next generation.
I don't care about the next generation. I'm interested in us.
You're only a rebel from the waist downwards. Nothing is ours. Nothing.
Where are you now, Winston? Look around you. This room, this very moment, this is ours.
It's not enough.
Victory!
Be sure he was some enemy agent or something. Might have been parachuted in. But here's the bit that's really brilliant. What put her out to him in the first place, huh? Anyone? No? Alright, well, he was wearing a funny pair of shoes. So, chances are he was a foreigner. Pretty smart, right? Pretty smart for a 7-year-old.
Where's...
Oh, Winston, I'm glad they watch us. I really am. I mean, there are people out there who hate us, hate our way of life, and if we're being watched, then so are they.
What happened to...
Couldn't say, but I wouldn't be surprised if...
Winston Smith.
O'Brien.
I've been hoping for an opportunity of speaking with you.
You take a scholarly interest in newspeak, I believe.
Hardly scholarly. I never had anything to do with the actual construction of the language.
Oh, but you write it very elegantly. And that is not only our own opinion.
I've been speaking recently to a friend of yours who is quite the expert. His name has slipped my memory for the moment. I've recently acquired an advanced edition of the 10th edition of the Newspeak Dictionary.
Some of the new developments are ingenious. It might interest you to look at it.
Yes, very much.
Let me give you the address. I'm usually at home in the evenings. If not, my servant will give you the dictionary.
Winston?
I remember. I finally remember. The chocolate. My memory is completely wrong. My mother. I was a boy, 10 or 11. Kept on asking her, "Where's father?"
You know the answer to that, Winston. I don't know why you keep tormenting me by asking it.
I was starving, my guts twisted.
You can't be hungry, Winston. You've had more than your share already.
Can I have some chocolate?
There isn't any chocolate.
There is. I know there is.
Winston.
Did you pick up the ration today? Like you said?
I did, but I was going to save it so we'd have something to look forward to.
Well, I want it now, and I should have more than a third.
Don't be greedy.
I should. I'm young. I'm growing. I need to eat.
Winston.
My stomach is clawing me.
Fine. You can have mine.
And hers.
What? No, you're her big brother. She needs some too.
Well, I want it. I need it.
Winston, I can't bear this. Fine, there's 4 squares. You can have 3. 2 of mine and 1 of hers.
I took all 4, snatched it from my sister's hands, ran, hid, ate it all. My mother calling out to me.
Winston!
My sister crying.
You were her big brother.
When I went home, the house was empty. They'd vanished.
Winston.
My mother wasn't extraordinary or anything, but she protected my sister.
Winston.
She was willing to sacrifice herself, to give up everything for us. We were the future, and she was the dead.
Winston.
Now it's my turn. I should go to O'Brien now. If anyone can change things, it's someone like him. Someone with power. If O'Brien is what we think he is, and that conversation, if it meant what we think it meant, I'm gonna go to him and declare myself as an enemy of the party.
Winston. No.
He spoke of science being
unpersoned.
I hate the party. I hate Big Brother. I hate the feelings I feel because of them. I just want to tear them down like clothes from a washing machine.
I think everybody feels like that.
We're only the start of this. If we act now, and people will pick up from where we leave off, they will follow. And then we'll build and build until eventually people will take power back. People on the very bottom of the pile. If anyone can change things, it's them. It lies in their future. We are the dead.
The dead! I know. I'm frightened.
Listen, if I'm mistaken, I'll just look at the new dictionary and I'll walk away. But I'm not mistaken. And you know that.
I'm coming with you. Not for O'Brien or for the Brotherhood, but for you. I love you.
I love you.
Items 1,5,7. Approved full-wise, stop suggestion. Contained item 6 double plus ridiculous. Virgin crime thing. Stop, cancel, unproceed. Construction-wise, anti-getting plus full. Estimates machinery overheads. Stop and message. Winston Smith.
You can switch it off.
We can switch it off. We have that privilege. Do you know where you are, Winston?
I think apartments of the inner party. I've never been here before.
Yes. Well, shall I say it, or will you?
Is it
switched off? We are alone.
We believe there is some sort of conspiracy. A secret organization working against the party. And we want to join it. We want to work for it. We are thought criminals. We're enemies of the party, and we're here at your mercy. If you must incriminate us, now's your chance.
Come in. Take a seat.
Martin is one of us.
It's called wine. You will have read about it, no doubt. Maybe you even remember it. Not much of it gets to the outer party, I'm afraid. To our leader, Emmanuel Goldstein.
The Goldstein is a real person?
Yes, Goldstein's alive. Although, where, I'm not sure.
The conspiracy, the organization, it's real? It's real? Not just made up by the thought police?
The Brotherhood exists. You will not know much more about it than that it exists and that you are part of it. But we'll come back to that. Look, time is against us. You two shouldn't have come here together, and you must leave separately. You, comrade, will leave first. You must understand that we have to begin by asking you certain questions. In general terms, what are you prepared to do?
Anything.
You're prepared to sacrifice your lives. Yes. To commit murder? Yes.
To commit acts which may cost thousands of innocent deaths?
Yes. You're prepared to lie, to cheat, to steal, to recruit even the youngest children, to disseminate disease, to distribute drugs, to do anything which might weaken the power of the party. Yes. To betray your country. Yes.
If, for example, it would serve our interest to throw sulfuric acid in a child's face, are you prepared to do that?
Yes. Are you prepared to commit suicide if and when we order you to do so? Yes.
Are you prepared to lose your identity, forego who you are, or to live in hiding?
Yes. You're prepared to never see each other again?
No!
No. You did well to tell me. Comrade, even if you see him again, it may not be as the same person. We may be forced to give him a new identity. His face, his age, his movements, the shape of his hands, the sound of his voice, may all be different. Our surgeons can alter people beyond recognition. You will never know how many members the Brotherhood has. Even if you fell into the hands of the help police, you would never know who to betray.
Understand that you'll be fighting in the dark. You will always be in the dark. Orders will come, and you will obey them, and you will never know the specifics of why. The Brotherhood does not exist in the ordinary sense. Nothing holds it together, except for an idea which is indestructible. An idea for, and a dream of, the future. That idea will sustain you. There is no possibility of any perceptible change happening within our lifetime. We are the dead. But our true life is in the future. I will send you the book in which the idea is expressed, Goldstein's book, which you will read and then destroy. Once you will have read it, you will become full members of the Brotherhood, and you will then understand the true reality of things.
The true reality of things. You should leave us now. Comrade, before you go, take a good look at these faces. You may be seeing them again. So, Winston, what shall it be? To the death of Big Brother? To humanity? To the future? To the past? The past is more important.
Place it on your tongue. It will dissolve. It is important that you do not leave smelling of wine. Before you leave, do you have any questions?
Any question I like. Is it
switched off?
Have you ever heard of an old rhyme that goes, oranges and lemons, say the bells of St. Clements.
You owe me 3 farthings, say the bells of St. Martin's. When will you pay me, say the bells of Old Bailey. When I grow rich, say the bells of Shoreditch.
You know it. You know how it ends.
I know how it ends. One thing left. The book.
The book?
Goldstein's book. The copies are handwritten, and there are not many in existence. Once you read it, you will become a true member of the Brotherhood. Once I get my hands on a copy, the following will happen. Winston, where do you think you are?
I think I'm in the street.
Good. Someone will touch you on the arm, and he will say, I think you have
dropped your book.
And that will be Goldstein's book. Hundreds of individuals who hold in their hearts the same ideals and principles as we do have read this book. You will read it and destroy it.
Once you finish reading this book, you become a different person. You don't feel the same, you don't think the same. It changes everything. It will always be true. It's a vision of future, no matter when it's being read.
Its readers are the Brotherhood, spread thinly across the world, known only to themselves and not to each other. But we all read and rejoice in this book, and ensure that its light never goes out. We remember that an idea is the only thing that has ever changed the world. We shall meet again, Winston.
In the place where there is no darkness.
Yes.
I've got the book.
Oh, good. Coffee?
Theory and Practice of Oligarchical Collectivism by Emmanuel Goldstein. Chapter 1. Ignorance and Strength.
I'm reading. There's no telescreen, no one's watching or listening. I don't have to cover the page with my hand or look over my shoulder. Is this bliss? I don't know where to start. Chapter 3. War is Peace. The splitting up of the world into 3 great superstates was an event which could be, and indeed was foreseen, before the middle of the 20th century. In one combination or another, these 3 superstates are permanently at war. War hysteria is continuous and universal in all countries. Doublethink means the power of holding 2 contradictory beliefs in one's mind simultaneously and accepting both of them. To tell deliberate lies while genuinely believing in them, to deny the existence of objective reality, and all the while to take account of the reality which one denies. That is indispensably necessary. Here we reach the central secret, the original motive, the never-questioned instinct that first led to the seizure of power and brought doublethink, the thought police, continuous warfare, and all the other necessary paraphernalia into existence afterwards. This motive really consists... I'm not mad. Being in a minority, even minority of 1, does not make you mad. If you hold on to truth long enough, even though the whole world is screaming against you, you're not mad. Sanity is not statistical. Sanity is not statistical. I just had a nightmare. The worst thing in the world.
I'll never betray you.
I will never betray you.
Everyone does. Everyone always confesses.
Confession is not betrayal. What you say to them doesn't matter. It's what you feel that matters.
I'm hungry. Let's have some coffee.
She's beautiful.
She's a meter wide.
That's her style of beauty.
She's had 100 children. We'll never have that. A family.
Just look at her. All around the world, millions, billions of people just like her, held apart by walls of hatred and lies, ignorant of one another's existence, and yet exactly the same. People are always the same. That's the message of Goldstein's book.
You've not finished it.
I don't need to. Of course it is. A world of sanity.
Sanity?
Where there can be equality, there can be sanity. Just imagine, all around the world, every major city, London, New York, Beijing, in every peasant village, there stands the same solid, unconquerable woman, meter wide from childbearing, going from work to death.
Winston.
You were the dead, theirs was the future. You could have shared in that future if you kept alive the mind as they kept alive the body,
Winston.
and passed on the secret doctrine that 2 + 2 make 4.
Winston. I love you.
We are the dead.
We are the dead. You are the dead. They can see us.
We can see you. Remain exactly where you are. Make no movement until you are ordered.
It's starting at last.
It's starting.
We may as well say goodbye.
You may as well say goodbye.
Now that we're on the subject, here comes a candle to light you to bed. Here comes a chopper to chop off your head.
Winston, where do you think you are?
Love.
Where?
The Ministry of Love.
And how long have you been here?
Hours, days, weeks, I don't know. How long have I been?
Winston! Winston! Is that you? It's me. Parsons!
Parsons, what are you here for?
Thought crime. I never knew I was doing it. I was talking in my sleep, saying, "Down with Big Brother. Down with Big Brother. Down with Big Brother!"
How did they know?
How do you think? It was my little girl. Listened through a keyhole. Went right to the patrols first thing in the morning. Oh, I'm so proud of her. She'll be right in the front when they shoot me. You know what my final words are gonna be? My final words? Thank you for saving me before it was too late. Thank you.
Room 101.
No. No, room 101!
What's a room 101?
What's your name?
Smith.
That's funny. My name is Smith too. I might be your mother.
No!
I had a son like you. He'd be about your age.
What's a room 101? What's a room 101? What's a room 101?
Oh, Winston. You know that already.
O'Brien, they've got you too.
They got me a long time ago, Winston.
Where am I?
Where do you think you are?
Where are you now, Winston?
In a nightmare. The worst thing in the world.
Room 101. You know it's in room 101, Winston. You've always known it.
What did you say?
I love
Oh, Julia, what?
the Ministry of Love. And that's where you are now. Look.
I told you that if we met again, it would be in a place where there is no darkness.
Yes.
You see, you suffer from a defective memory. You are unable to remember real events, and you convince yourself that events that never happened did. But this is curable. And once you are cured, you will love Big Brother. No more false memories. You'll finally be happy. Right now, you're a minority of one. You've chosen to be a madman.
Insanity is not statistical.
I know your mind, Winston. I know what you've been thinking. I know what you're thinking now, and I know what you're yet to think. I've watched you for longer than you can imagine. Trust me, Winston. It's time. I'm gonna make you perfect. Come in.
With which power is Oceania at war at this moment? Winston?
When I was arrested, Oceania was at war with East Asia.
With East Asia. Good. And for how long has Oceania been at war with East Asia?
You're afraid to answer because you know at any point in this conversation, pain can be applied to any degree. But that pain will help you, Winston. Pain compels truth, and it's important that you answer truthfully. Your truth, at least. Tell us what you think you remember.
Until recently, we were not at war with East Asia. The war was against Eurasia. That lasted for 4
The
years.
fingertips. Another example. Jones, Aronson, and Rutherford. 3 men guilty of committing atrocities in 3 cities on the day of plenty. You believe you saw proof of their innocence? A photograph.
Yes.
This photograph?
That's the one that exists. It exists.
No, it does not exist.
It does. It's right there.
No, it does not exist. It never existed.
It exists.
In memory, I saw it. It was there a second ago. You remember it. I remember it.
I don't remember it.
We're trying to help you, Winston, to see the truth.
That's not the truth. The truth is...
Does the past have real existence? Is there a place in the world where the past still exists?
The antique shop. The only place in the world where past still exists.
The teeth. You're afraid that something will break. Your particular fear is that it will be your backbone. You have a vivid mental picture of your vertebrae snapping and the spinal fluid seeping out. That's what you're thinking, no? I'm taking my time with you, Winston, because you're worth my time. What year is it?
2000?
Where does the past exist?
In the records, written down.
Where else?
In the mind, human memory.
In records and in human memory. Good. Since we, the party, control all records and all memory, do we not then control the past?
You can't stop people from remembering things. You can't control their memory. You haven't controlled mine.
No, Winston, you have not controlled yours. You believe that reality is objective, external, that if you see something, everyone else must see the same thing as you. But that's not true. Reality exists only inside the mind, Winston. Not the mind of the individual, which makes mistakes and will eventually die, but the mind of the party, which is accurate, collective, and immortal.
Power is power over people, Winston. Yes, over the body, but above all, over the mind. Power over external objective reality is not important. Reality is inside the skull. Do you remember writing that freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 make 4?
Yes.
How many fingers am I holding up, Winston?
4.
And if the party says that it's not 4 but 5, then how many fingers?
4!
How many fingers, Winston?
4!
How many fingers, Winston?
4! What else can I say? 4!
How many fingers?
5!
No, that's no good. You're lying to me. You still believe that it's 4. How many fingers, please?
Please, can't even just stop the pain! Stop the pain!
You're a slow learner, Winston.
How can I help seeing what is in front of me? 2 and 2 make 4!
Sometimes. Sometimes they're 5, sometimes 3. Sometimes all of them at once. You must try harder, Winston. It is not easy to become sane. How many fingers?
I don't know. 4, 5, 6. In all honesty, I don't know.
Better. You will give in eventually. The price of sanity is submission. Winston, we are curing you. We convert the heretic so that he is a heretic no longer. We make him one with us. We do not tolerate rebellion, Winston, even if it exists only in a brain awaiting a bullet. We make the brain perfect before we blow it out. But you're not perfect yet, Winston. You still think you're the hero. You still think you're going to win. You picture the future. You have thought about it and thought about it.
You were writing for them, the unborn.
Yes.
You hope to inspire them to change things.
Yes.
You wanted to give them your message.
Yes.
Go ahead, Winston. Speak to us.
We're listening, Winston. We're all watching you. Tell us, what does the future look like? What will defeat the party? Go ahead, Winston. Speak to us. Winston, what will defeat us?
Brotherhood, humanity, the spirit of man.
Brotherhood, humanity, the spirit of man. Do you consider yourself a man?
Yes.
If you want to picture the future, Winston, imagine a boot stamping a human face. Forever. It's the face of the enemy, defeated and powerless. Again, and again, and again.
This drama that we have played out will be played out over and over again, generation after generation, victory after victory. This is the future right now. You have no past, Winston. You are deleted from history. If you are a man, Winston, you are the last man. No past, no future, right now. But you still consider yourself morally superior to us, don't you?
Yes, I consider myself morally superior.
You are prepared to sacrifice your lives. Yes. You are prepared to commit murder. Yes.
To commit acts which may cost thousands of innocent deaths?
Yes.
Brotherhood, humanity, the spirit of man. You wanted to speak to us, Winston. So tell us, how will the party fall? What will be our defeat?
Love.
Love? Love is what will win? Your love for Julia and her love for you is what will bring everything crashing down? How? How will that happen? How can the love of two people, however strong, bring down the system that organizes the entire world?
I don't know.
Your love matters to you and to you alone. To the rest of the world, it makes no difference. It serves no purpose. It has no meaning. The fact that you will never see Julia again does not change the world one iota. All you care about is yourself. Even Big Brother you thought was watching you in particular. But that's not true. Big Brother is you, watching. Your entire world consists only of your own solipsism.
If we consider your mind, your memories, your fears and your fantasies, and your longing to be important, to be a hero, whether that is by writing a diary for the distant future, or by changing the world as a member of the Brotherhood, if we consider all of these things, not one of them is anything more or less important than Winston Smith and his vain, selfish, unimportant desires. Coffee, chocolate, sex, love. You're trapped in the center of yourself, imprisoned in your own skull. And we have to let you out, Winston. Break you open and let you out into reality, beyond selfish obsessions and false memories. Reality as the rest of us see it. The reality of the party. There is nothing that I cannot do, Winston. I could float 6 feet off the floor if I want to. I could fly. If that is the reality inside the mind of the party.
If you have any questions, Winston, you may ask them now.
Any question I like? Is it?
Switched off.
What have you done to Julia?
Oh, she betrayed you. Unreservedly. I've seldom seen anyone come over to our side quite so promptly.
You tortured her? Does this Big Brother exist?
Of course he exists. The party exists. Big Brother is the embodiment of the party.
I mean, does he exist in the way I exist?
You do not exist. You do not exist, Winston.
I think I exist. I was born, I'll die someday. I occupy space. Nothing can occupy the same point simultaneously. In that sense, does Big Brother exist?
It is of no importance in what sense. He exists.
Will he ever die?
Of course not. How could he die?
Does the Brotherhood exist?
Winston, if we set you free when you have finished here, and you live to be 90 years old, you will never learn the answer to that question. For as long as you live, the answer to that question will remain an unsolved riddle in your mind.
The book.
I wrote it, Winston. At least I collaborated in writing it.
Is it true what it says?
As a description, sure, but the program it sets forth is nonsense. The people will not revolt. They won't look from their screens long enough to notice what's really happening. The individual is dead, Winston, and the party will always win. And the party is immortal. We are so nearly there, Winston. You are so nearly perfect. There's no pain you can now withstand. There's nothing to which you have not confessed to, and there's nothing left for you to hold on to.
One thing left.
I didn't hear you, Winston.
One thing left! I never betrayed Julia.
Oh, no, that's perfectly true. You have not betrayed Julia.
When you were told that you could ask us anything, there was one question that immediately came to mind. You were afraid to ask it because you already knew the answer to it. The worst thing in life varies from individual to individual. It may be burial alive or death by drowning fire, or impalement. So ask the question, Winston.
Where am I now?
Where do you think you are, Winston?
Room 101?
And what's in room 101?
The thing that is in room 101 is the worst thing in the world.
In your case, Winston, the worst thing in the world happens to be rats.
No.
You're familiar with this construction. The mask will fit over your head, leaving no exit. The rats will begin in the front section of the cage, with 2 gates between them and your face. Once the mask is installed, the first gate will open, and the rats, desperate to escape, will come closer. You'll be able to smell them. Understand that you can bring things too close whenever you choose. Nothing is happening that you did not foresee.
You can't do this, please! You can't do this! No!
The rats are starving. Once the second gate opens, the rats will leap out and bore straight into your face. Sometimes they attack the eyes first, and sometimes the tongue.
No, I can't do this, please! No!
It's an instinct which cannot be betrayed. It's the same with you. There are form of pressure that you cannot withstand, even if you wish to. You know what you need to do.
I don't know what to do! Tell me what it is! I'll do it, please! Just tell me what it is! I don't know!
You know it already, Winston. You've always known it. When hungry or agitated, rats can strip a face of human flesh in a matter of minutes. They show astonishing intelligence in knowing when someone is completely helpless.
So just stand there, do something, please! Please! Help me! I can't do this on my own!
I am now going to open the first gate.
No!
We're your friends, Winston. I'm trying to help you.
I am now going to open the second gate.
Do it to Julia! I don't care what you do to her! Rip her face up, split her body in half! I don't care! Just do it to her! I betrayed you.
Sorry?
I betrayed you.
I betrayed you. Sometimes they threaten you with something you can't stand up to, can't even think about, and then you say, don't do it to me, do it to somebody else, do it to... And perhaps you pretend afterwards that it was only a trick, and you didn't really mean it. As you betray them in that moment, it's real. Whatever you say after, all you care about is yourself.
All you care about is yourself.
That moment is everything, and afterwards, you don't feel the same towards the other person anymore.
You don't feel this.
I was just asking if you were feeling unwell.
Sorry. False memory.
He was troubled by false memories occasionally, but they did not matter, so long as one knew them for what they were. Some things had happened, others had not happened.
But it was all right. Everything was all right. The struggle was finished. He had won the victory over himself.
This is how it ends? This is how it ends.
Did this really happen? I mean, were things really like this in 1984? Because that was over 100 years ago. I mean, this is a stupid question.
No. So far as we know, this actually happened. At some point prior to 2050, the party fell. We know that. Well, here we are, and listen to how we're speaking. No newspeak. As to whether this account was actually written in 1984, as the first page claims, I'd like to know. There's just very little evidence. Nothing is known for certain. We do know that Winston himself never actually existed, outside this book anyways.
So, who wrote it?
Nobody knows. Over time, various authors have been suggested as the writer, but none of them have been verified by birth records or burial records. Could have been written collaboratively. Most probably, the real author was unpersoned. Of course, it's the text, the idea behind it that's important, not the name on the front.
So Winston, Winston was imaginary?
He never existed. Yet here we are, still talking about him.
Oranges and lemons, say the bells of St. Clement's. You owe me 3 farthings, say the bells of St. Martin's. When will you pay me, say the bells of Old Bailey. When I grow rich, say the bells of Shoreditch. Pray when will that be, say the bells of Stepney. I do not know. But I mean, wouldn't they, if the party, how do we know the party fell? Wouldn't it be in their interest to just structure the world in such a way that we would believe they would be no longer?
Here comes a candle to light you to bed. Here comes a chopper to chop off your head. Chop, 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 chop. The last man is dead.
Thank you.